Hey guys, Tyler's Awesome Do here, and today is the final breakdown of, well, uh, the Cobra Tattoo arc of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, and the final, little breakdown of the first 6 episodes of the Titanium Rangers introductory. So, yeah, let's begin. Alright, here we go, the final breakdown. Okay, they're checking on Ryan and seeing and studying the Cobra tattoo, I guess.
Sorry, Ryan. Never seen anything like it.
Really? A scientist hasn't?
It should be fine.
Really?
As long as you don't morph.
Really? Oh no. Of course, the sky turning black, like that, or blue, or whatever, means bad news. Man, that mom is holding her children really tight. And that red lightning effect. Maybe it has something in common with purple lightning. Don't you think? And wow, look at that destruction. Just look at it. And of course, the alarms go off.
Rangers, what are alert status?
Yeah, of course they would. Again.
Don't even think about it.
Of course she's trying to make
Get some
sure
rest.
Ryan gets some rest and not, endanger himself, And these smoky green clouds, everybody.
What is that?
I just told you. Also the red lightning again. Welcome back. And Diabolico with all his Neil Kaplan-ness.
Diabolico, don't you get it? We destroyed your monsters. Don't make us destroy you too.
Also a nice drop for you to drop by too, Diabolico. You know that's not gonna work, you guys. And I was right. And that classic phase-in effect from good old Tokusatsu, before they started be all fancying with their teleporting effects,
Carter, what can we do?
Even besides lay on the ground.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, there is.
Three monsters were tough alone.
I mean, yeah, they were.
Fight them all together.
Oh yeah, that's pretty horrifying. It definitely is.
And Falcon! Oh, man.
Yeah, all their voices coming out of the fusion, that's like, like Dragon Ball Z type thing,
Been able to defeat them separately, but together
Yeah.
their powers are unstoppable.
Of course they are. Also, like I say, I love the design of this fusion. I like how everything blends so well naturally and together and all, And more spinning. And that spinning's gotta hurt this time. And Ryan's bored reading with nothing to do because, he can't go and fight because in Morph because, he doesn't exist in the Sentai. Kinda. Well, mostly. The fact these rooms even have these things. And nice little beep fun sound effect. And Ryan's watching the Sentai footage that he can't be a part of. Oh, the fake barrel's must be really injured. Oh, nice explosion. What'd you make it think that the lantern's gonna work this time? 3, 2, 1. Use footage. And didn't work. Called it. Yeah, this is actually new footage.
Well, wherever they are, they can't hide forever! Is everybody alright?
Yeah, they're the main characters. Of course they are.
We sure got our butts kicked out there.
Yes, you did.
We were barely able to defeat those three monsters separately.
I don't know how we're gonna
Duh.
do it with our powers combined. Dana! Are you guys okay?
Yeah. Don't worry about us.
Of course.
You need to get some
Of course,
rest.
Ryan's watching out for his teammates, and especially his little sister.
I'm useless like this.
Yeah, because of the Cobra tattoo, obviously. If only there was a way.
Somehow I've got to stop that cobra by myself.
Yeah, I just said something like that. Of course, convenient report that tells him about it. Why not? And villain layer stock footage.
Queen Banshira, I am pleased to report that the Ranger's demise is near.
It had
Almost.
better be Diabolico. This is your last chance.
And you better take out the garbage, Diabolico. Yes, my queen. Sorry, I had to do some joke.
That monster's as strong as all three combined.
No duh.
Laser bounced right off it.
Yeah.
What about the battle boosters?
New toy to sell.
That's a possibility. They're nearly finished.
Nearly?
How do we know they'll be strong enough?
Well, we don't.
Well,
They're only
of course.
experimental.
Hey,
Of course they're experimental. Why not?
He's supposed to be resting.
he isn't. I've looked everywhere.
Of course, when a person's resting, they're not fine. They're not able to find at a place.
What's happening?
The Troika monster has returned, sir.
Of course it did.
I'll have to find Ryan later. Get those battle boosters ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. Hope it's not 24 hours. Ooh, look at this teleportation effect. You like this? He's like an egg twirly, prickly egg thing, and he comes out. Oh yeah, this is original footage, by the way.
Destroy the city!
Of course, why not? That's obviously what the Rangers are gonna do with the monsters destroying the city. And nice pyrotechnic effects.
Rangers!
Ready. Are you sure that's gonna work because of, yeah.
You may think you've beaten us. That couldn't be farther from the truth. We don't think we
Yeah, what they said. Also a nice blend between the Sentai footage and the original footage. Also, if he's supposed to be unbeatable, then how is Joel able to lift him and just throw him while he just lands perfectly on his feet? Well, I guess it didn't take as long as I expected.
Activate battle boosters.
Also, I like the energy effect used for this, Also, I do kind of really like the design of the battle boosters. Also, the fact that we see the morphers being on the Lightspeed Rescue costumes. That's a rarity, but be not on them when they're morph. Also, the fact that they need the summon, battle booster, and then, the morpher can just disappear to not be on the costume anymore for, not being on anymore because it serves its purpose, and just watch the clip yourself. Also, it's a nice, fade away effect, like a disappearing effect for the morpher, by the way. Also, just ignore that, that text sound. Wow, that's a big punch. It's totally possible. What are you saying? Also, this is a really good set. I mean, like people's claim of Power Rangers being cheap, they actually put their heart and effort into these sets, Especially the Lightspeed Rescue headquarters, Especially the fish. Again with the fish.
I know if I destroy it, I'll break the curse.
Yeah, of course it would. How are those fires able to lit up? It's probably just mythical nonsense or something. Again, the inside of this layers also looks really nice too, And with all the cobwebs, that's also pretty nice detail too. And especially the lighting on the and out the exit, the exit / entrance. That's nice. Also love this music he used here. Hear it for yourself. I mean, seriously, they went to the effort of designing this thing. And designing this, cobra, wall thing or whatever it's called,
You want to destroy me? Well, here I am.
Well, of course it's gigabyted out. Also, love the smoke. I love the smoke that comes out of this thing, and it's the glowy eyes too. Love the effect used here, like the sand comes out, then the laser eyes get her over, and the mount on the wall disintegrates into the sand that and laser eyes that form yellow glow, and that forms the monster. And with the costume of the Cobra incarnate monster used here is actually a reused costume from a Mighty Morphin monster. Again, fitting because and ironic considering how how Ryan's similar to Barai. Anyways, the monster this was a tool from was my old Mighty Morphin snake monster called, and ignore the conversation in the background. And I'm gonna butcher this, Snizard. The snake monster with the apple on it. I believe it was an episode where Kimberly Billy went jerkish due to a potion and well, the Rangers got eaten by it or something. I'm not sure. Might as well look up the episode just to be sure. And coincidentally, Snizard, this is the suit that was become the snake incarnate. It's the Snizard suit that would become the snake incarnate suit is more Cobra-like and gray, kind of like Robo Snizard in Once a Ranger. You know, what a weird little coincidence we have here. Unless it was a intentional homage, but we don't know. Also, oh yeah, side note, nope. Powerpunk. The episode was called Powerpunks, and it actually featured Toad Monster. So, no, I was wrong earlier. I just wanted to make sure, okay? And also, fun fact: Nizard is voiced by Breaking Bad actor Bryan Cranston, who also played another Mighty Morphin monster, and will later go on to play Zordon in the 2017 Power Rangers movie. So yeah, a lot of fun facts. Anyways, back to the Lightspeed Rescue episode in question. Man, he is just getting wrecked with this new weapon.
These things are awesome.
Of course they are. Okay, how many times I'm gonna repeat similar things to things I said? Well, that was a mouthful. No wait, that was like no wait. That was rhymey. Also, another thing that the battle boosters are similar to another arsenal, another another weapon in a ranged arsenal 2 years earlier with Power Ranger in space with the called the Battleizer, and yes, the Battleizer was the name of the device and the form it grants. Okay.
Fine.
If you're wondering about the 555 code with the that activates the booster beam, then it's it makes more sense in the Sentai with it's called QQ, which means 99 in Japanese, and then go 5, so it's go means 5 in Japan, so it's 555, And coincidentally, the actor who played Go Green would go on to play the main user of Camera Delta in Camera 5, Fives also having 3 5s, being 3 5s for the title of the series, and 555 being the code for Camera 5 to access to, his transformation. A lot of connections here, and fun facts I'm teaching you. I like how each beam is their own color. Here, to represent the ranger that's using the respective beam, And of course, the new power up or, weapon in their arsenal beats the monster. Why not?
You think they learned they can't beat the Power Rangers?
Of course they win. They're the bad guys.
What are you gonna do about it?
Oh, well, of course they would say that, and, that's a cliche line. I like how Dialogical's voice becomes more demonic as he grows here, I know I forgot to say this earlier, but of course it's not over. Why not? It's still appropriate time to say that. So yeah, man, this Cobra is a really skilled fighter.
Gatling blasters!
Cougar Rising sound effect. Wait, that was a toy later sound effect I was hearing when a bit earlier, or is it just me? Probably just me. I like this guy's voice. Also, nice tattoo glow effect here. Of course, Ryan knew he has no choice.
Titanium power!
Also, strange when the Rangers don't have their jackets when we see the morph sequence. Their jackets are still in the morph sequence. You know, weird. It just happens, just a uniform thing that happens all the time, you know? Yeah, I guess to save money, it would be too expensive and a waste of time and focus on other matters and whatnot, blah, 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 yada, yada, but still. Man, this Cobra knows how to do some fighting stances. We all know the term Cobra Kai and the TV series and spun off from Karate Kid. I have DVDs of that movie series, and well, I wonder if this Cobra is also a martial artist. Power Rangers loves martial arts and whatnot, and I wonder if he used to teach martial arts in the past or something. You know, I would like to learn this guy's martial arts history. As a person who did Taekwondo formerly before COVID happened, and I would really like to know. Wow, nice catch, Megazord. Also, these two look like they're around the same size. It's fitting that Dial-Buckle would make himself this big, because he probably knew he was going to fight the Super Trained Megazord, just in case.
Yeah, never!
Man, I was going to have that comeback line, but Carter's got that. Wow, he's really showing it. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic. It just sounds like it. Man, this Cobra's got some dodging moves and some moves in general. Again, I seriously like to know.
Super Train's too badly damaged.
The fact they have this
We're sending in
screen
the rescue Zords.
for the Megazords. Also, I like how they actually put a fire right here to emphasize, so you can tell it's really there, and to emphasize, the threat of Diabolical's giant form, and they're willing to take that risk. Love that effort. Also, these were impressive. How they make how the Rangers appear smaller than the Zords. Even today, it's impressive. I think they still use the old effect or whatever it is. Also, you can see the Japanese actor's face right here. Because in the because their visors are up or something. I don't know why would they for dramatic effect or just zoom in shot thing. I don't know. Maybe it is up or something, or maybe just from a different view from a different perspective or something. No, view from different lens. I meant to say, or just I don't know. This is one of the cases. Still, this is one of the cases where you see a Japanese actor in the Sentai footage, like face characters or whatnot, or we can see the Japanese actor clearly in the, or I'm repeating myself again, clearly in the Sentai footage, I mean, with Hasbro, they just superimposed them in, American actors in, and just digitally edit their skin to make them look, black. So, but this is like, still like, I mean, Wild Force also did compose the faces onto the Rangers for the morph sequence.
You used up all your energy and time!
Because it looks like you've been fighting for a while. Also, this thing knows how to block. Also, nice pyrotechnics here. Nice rip-up shirt here.
Now my brother Cobra on your back will
Wait, the tattoo and the monster are brothers? How does that work? Also, shirtless Ryan here. It's only a few inches on his neck, so one more morph would kill him. My ass. Also, nice dodge over there. You know, despite the cobra tattoo being closer to your neck. You know. Also, a nice throw. Also, this is quite unconventional, where usually they're blasted or slashed with an energy slash thing or something. But this monster gets like crushed. Stuff falls on him. I'm surprised that Power Rangers able to do this. Also loves how his eyes glows briefly to here, and then he just like fucking and the like that it just like you know collapses as it dies. Why take me difficult me for me to say that? Also like the dust away effect over here. So the cobra tattoos like spirit just like leaves Ryan's body and a marker where it should be just like first or from or it should be only for the mark itself to disappear. Also love the music used here.
Lightspeed Megazord Saber, ignite!
Also love the detail over here, just saying.
Your puny saber is useless against me.
Of course it would. Why not?
Your pathetic weapons put together. All of your pathetic weapons put together are no match for me. For I, Diabolico, am invincible.
Are you sure about that? And of course, their previous weapons would be useless against him. Why not? Also, look at the destroyed wreckage over here of the, of this highway. I love the glowing for the star and eyes over here, Also, the fact that this shoots a laser. Holy shit, those buildings got wrecked. Well, they just crashed right into that building. That part of the building. Here comes Ryan to the rescue.
What was that? Solarzord back in action and at your service.
At your service too, Ryan.
Ryan, you can't be up there. The cobra.
It's okay, Dad. The Cobra's history.
And essentially the scenes of from the Sentai, the liner boy, being sentient, talking to the Rangers. But essentially replaced with them, the original footage of Titanium Rangers cockpit and, and Captain Mitchell and Ryan communicating, and basically, I like how, especially that latter part feels, very natural, and, because, instead of trying to make it, make the Sentai footage, linking with the American footage, like they do with Ryan talking to the Ranger, communicating with the Rangers, or, American characters just communicating with, the Japanese characters, slash Sentai characters. And here comes the new combination. The only one in Lightspeed Rescue slash Go-Go 5.
Titanium Ranger?
Now we're gonna show Diabolico some real fireworks.
Yeah.
Carter, engage battle booster.
I just said the time to see the new combination earlier, Miss Fairweather. And the battle booster is also, what's able the new combination for the Max Solar Zord. And later be able to, use it to well, autopilot the thing, in case Titanium Ranger is absent for whatever reason. That comes later in the series. Kind of like how, when Bri died, slash, Tommy lost his powers, Jason got control of the Dragon Zord slash Geki of Dragon Caesar. Another similarity between Bri and Ryan.
3, 5, 6, activate.
Yes. It's time for combination and this I'm bad at thinking. I love how they this how this transformation scene, and I know you do too. And I love how they transform into the sky. I like how, okay, it's not the best design, but this is some of the blockiness of early Megazord slash Sentai Mecha you know designs, where because just how they were, okay? Like how it's more armored up, and like it's like solar power and whatnot, and it's a Megazord, it's a powered up combination. What do you expect? And also, at least things in naturally here, and also, and then again, at least you gotta have more protection against bigger bigger threats, or more powerful monsters. I like how he's just, like slide gliding, gliding, gliding like he's not even moving, he's just like, gliding forward, like he's skateboarding or something, like he's on a skateboard. I think the suit actor was actually on a skateboard in this scene. It gives this combination a bit of a unique movement, and emphasizes the fact, he has, rocket feet, because Space Shuttle Zord. Where could he have gone? Like, you know, tension ensues. Also, because, Titanium Ranger is American made, they have to put his, keep him in his own cockpit while the Rangers remained in theirs, from the Sentai footage, You know, it kind of helps that he is, at least has at least some part to play, you know? And also, when with Megazords, combinations usually just all the Rangers just, all the cockpits come into one. And especially seeing with RPM, where where you see the inner works of how this works. Both like Sentai slash Ranger scenes, like Go Buster slash Beast Morphers, the Rangers are all kept in their own cockpits, so they, again, feel like they have an important role. Each of them, you know, it's, that's what I meant to say. Anyways, Lost Galaxy slash Ginga Man a year earlier also did this. I also think Ninja Storm did this, and I think also SPD did it. Again, I gotta check. And maybe Operation Overdrive did. I gotta check these seasons to make sure.
Did we finish him? I'm not sure. It seemed too easy.
Yeah,
All you've done
way
with
too
your
easy.
pathetic attacks is make
Of course,
me
it wasn't
angry.
easy.
How could he have survived that?
I told you
And with a
I'm
new power up,
invincible,
no less.
but you're not.
I like this sound effect for here. Here. I'm sorry, I was just making sure you heard me right, Also, I love the effect used here, like how the fire is absorbed into the solar panels. That's amazing. That's pretty cool visual.
What?
I know, right? This glow effect is also pretty nice here,
Power levels are going crazy.
Also love the music used a bit earlier over there. Also, I know it's overused meme, but it's over 9,000. I like how we actually see Ryan presses these buttons to activate the the super attack. Gives it a bit more depth than just they just shout it, and the attack happens. Also like the beeping noise over there, and also locked on target cliche. I'm basically Simmons at this point. Also, these massive guns. And also, I like how they use the chest lasers, the, head antennae lasers, and the sides, the areas that, where, Maxilosaur's arms actually become like, thigh cannons, and could probably also be act as like, extra arms, probably. You know, it's just a possibility. A Tyler Swartwood possibility. No, wait. A Tyler is awesome theory. Okay. No, wait. Theory. No. I'll work on it.
This can't be happening.
Oh, sure it can, Diabolico.
Damn it, Carter, stop stealing my comebacks. Oh yeah, I also forgot the, forearm cannon. I mean laser. Yeah, I forgot those two. Again, this thing could potentially have 4 arms. Also, like how each laser source, also each of these lasers that coming out of their respective, guns, actually have different, designs and effects. That's pretty neat. Also, that's gotta hurt.
You've done the impossible. You've defeated the mighty Diabolico. But be assured
Yeah, of course they
that
done the
Green
impossible.
Band
They're the
Zero
Power
will
Rangers. They can do it.
1,000-fold.
Yeah, blah blah blah. Awesome explosion. Also, how like the light of the explosion reflects on the Megazord. That's nice. Also, how the we can see the star heart like you know leave Diabolico's explosion. Yeah, this footage is oddly the same quality as the American footage. I wonder if this is original footage or not. Better check. Okay.
I don't believe it!
Oh, you should believe it.
Diabolico!
Oh, they actually mourn his death.
He's gone. That's not possible.
Again, trying over here. Well, he's really upset. His old friend is He's really upset. His old friend is gone. Again, keep in mind, these guys are supposed to be siblings in the Sentai. And oh yeah, the baby gets a star heart after Diabolico's defeat. I forgot about that.
Empis. Pass a star power.
Again, another scene where she actually, tries good acting, Just another bonus point for her. Nike, no. Sorry, just ignore that. It's kind of, but here it's kind of sound like, like she's saying, calmly thing, like they're acting what they just saw, saying what they just saw, like, like this thing that happened, something like that, Also, this is set up for another arc that I probably won't do a breakdown of. Probably. Maybe.
No more Diabolico.
And the
No more
Rangers
of
are
his demons.
celebrating.
And best of all,
No more cobra tattoo.
The fact that Dana and Ryan said it at the same time. True siblings. Gotta interrupt the party.
Thank
Also-
you, Joe.
Also, nice whistling, Joel.
Like to... As of now, the safest city in the...
Of course. Of course, he gets interrupted
That's a drill,
during
right?
mid-sentence, and he jinxed it also.
That's a drill, right?
We don't have drills.
I mean, who has drills in Power Rangers? Not literal ones, figurative ones. Also here, little green splitter glitter around him and his, lines of his, dragon wings are, that's also the creatively designed as this, baby blanket, what you wrap around babies, to carry them. They like a little glowy, and I like this attention to detail. Also, a little dragon wing like cocoon forms here. That's also nice. Heavenly, openly, thing lights over there. Of course, it's happening. Yeah, and the Sentai takes a few episodes, but I think it's in next episode for Power Rangers. Also, like the music here too.
Hello, Rangers.
this is the first time
I
Queen
thought you was
Banshira meets the
Who
Rangers
is
here.
that?
Queen Banshira.
Of course, they don't know who that
She's
is.
worse than
Somebody's
10
gonna
Diabolicos.
tell her who she is. Tell them.
But I assure you, my son will not.
Your son,
They don't know that.
Impus.
Behold, my son will not.
Your son, Impus.
Of course, Ryan has his knowledge. He was with the demons for like half his life. Oh my god. What could hatch out of that thing? Only time would tell. So, again, as per usual, the acting for the most part is pretty good. The effects and the music are really good. And the, story's amazing-ish. Writing's pretty good, and and you know, how they use the Sentai footage is done pretty well. And the set designs pretty nice. And the characters are pretty good. And the episode's a really good episode, and a nice conclusion to the Cobra Tattoo arc. You know, in the first 6 episodes of the Titanium Rangers introduction arc. I mean, the 6th episode Titanium Ranger arc is what I meant to say. And this is the final episode of this. Yeah, what this means is the final episode of this breakdown series. Unless I want to break down more Power Ranger Lightspeed Rescue episodes or Power Ranger episodes in general. You want me to do more breakdown of Power Rangers, you know, episode breakdowns? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, hit that Kuga thumbs up button. And again, with the comment sections, if you want to see me stop playing with my hair. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification button. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm Tyler's Awesome too. And peace as usual. And hopefully I don't have to deal with some, crazy end the world nonsense like the Power Rangers does. And hold on. Hold on a second. Okay. Had to deal with that guy again. Shame it was off screen. You know, the evil darkness I'm supposed to fight. That I kind of forgot about. Man, it took a long time for him to recover. It probably will take a long time for him to recover again. No. I gotta find Trio and wake him up. He's probably in a long sleep from all the absent stuff I've been doing. And, he's probably just worried sick about me. Darn, I'm playing with my hair again. Or he's probably just, probably just, he's probably just playing video games in that morpher or something. I don't know what's going on there, okay? Okay, end of video, bye.